Almeda, you have thought deeply about youth ministry and engaged in youth ministry for many years, written widely, spoken widely, consulted widely. I'm going to ask you a hard question, but if you had an opportunity just to get the ear of a youth worker and say, this is the one thing you must do, this is the one thing God is calling you to make the foundation of everything else you do, what would that one thing be for youth workers?
For me, that's really simple and complicated. I would remind them to love the young people. And that's like, well, of course we love them. God tells us to love everybody. Jesus says love. But really and truly in practice, that will shift everything that you do. If your starting goal and end goal is for young people to experience your love and to experience the love of Christ. And what that looks like in terms of, or what that possibly looks like in terms of practical youth ministry, it's how we invite them in. So we don't actually have, a stern list of like things that young people must kind of go through, but we spend time building relationships. We spend time getting to know them to say that I love you, I value you, and therefore you're worth me getting to know. And you're also worth me investing in you. Because if I love you, it doesn't just mean, hey, how are you on once a week, and then you can do whatever you want to. Sometimes liberal youth workers they push me the wrong way because they're like, I just love the kids and I meet them where they are. Yes, you meet them. But loving them also means that you invest in what it is that they can become, to spend enough time to actually say, how are we going to help discern what God is calling you to do? That's an act of love. How can we help discern where you can go and what you can do beyond, getting good grades or beyond going to college, but to actually say, does God have a purpose for my life? And I'm going to love you long enough and hard enough to sit with you as you wrestle, as you try some things out, as you bust your head against a brick wall, and then come back to me and say, all right, Almeda, this didn't work, but I know you love me and I messed it up and you're going to be here to help me figure this out again. And that's not easy work. That's thankless work. That's not going to be the thing that you're like, I brought 100 young people in here and they shouted unto God, or we went and built something and it just transformed their lives. No, some of this is late night, early morning, one-on-one, that no one will ever give you credit for. Because if you're loving them right, then you're not telling people that I had to love her through this counseling session, or I had to love him through picking him up when he was smoking something and bringing him back to his folks. But that for me goes underneath to the very core of all that youth ministers are called to do. And now, of course, senior pastors, parents, administrators will ask for an agenda or for a calendar or for a budget or for a lot of different things. But if you can actually focus youth ministry and programs and ideas around this act, that we're going to maximize our opportunities for young people to come into relationship with caring adults, not just the youth pastor, but other adults and friends, so that they can get a taste of what it means to actually be loved unconditionally, loved with the love of God, then I think work is done.